What's going on, ladies and gentlemen? I am your host, DLB, and welcome to another episode of DLB TV. In this week's episode, we discuss digital versus physical. So way back in November 7th, actually, of 2013, I recorded a video titled something I can't even remember it now, but something along the lines of why all my next-gen games will be digital in regards to physical. Fast forward to 2019, and I'd say out of the 100% of my gaming library, about 10% of my games are physical. And the only reason those even exist is because number one, whether it was bundled in with something and I got a deal, or someone hooked me up, or because I knew someone who worked at Sony and they were able to give me a discount. Outside of that, the rest of my games are all digital. And rightfully so. Like, digital games for me this generation have been an extreme convenience, whether it's going to different games, whether somebody sends me an invite and I'm in a game and I accept the invite and it just automatically starts the game for me. Like, having the digital version of a game has been a convenience. Now, some people way back when I was saying the reasons I was going digital are calling me lazy because I was giving examples as to not having to get up off the couch or your office chair or wherever it is that you're gaming in order to switch to different games, which I don't know how that made me lazy when people do that all the time, whether it's music or an app. Could you imagine every time you wanted to start a different app, you had to insert an SD card for that app? Like, that would be crazy. Look at Netflix. Look at the majority of things in life. It's convenient for things to be digital. There's a difference between being lazy and then a convenience. Like, me having to get up out of this chair every time I want to play a different game, to go into my closet or wherever I have to go, bookshelf, wherever, to grab a game, swap the disc out, put the other disc in, then put everything back. It's just such a convenience to just have everything right there on my screen. To me, it is, at least. I mean, people have been doing it on PC for years. Are PC gamers lazy? I mean, I would think gamers as a whole are somewhat lazy, but nonetheless, who wouldn't want something to be convenient for them, right? So, nonetheless, that was some of the arguments I got back then. Even some people who were saying that, well, I don't want to go digital because it's going to take up all my hard drive space. Well, ladies and gentlemen, if you guys haven't noticed, it doesn't matter whether you have a game physically or digitally. They take up the same amount of space on that hard drive. The game that you have on the disc, all it does is install to the hard drive. So you're not saving any space whether you go physical versus digital. You're not saving any space anywhere. Then the other complaint, the complaint about everything, is the internet. People's internet speeds. Now, one thing that I felt was smart this generation that they did do is, if you pre-order a game, it'll pre-download a couple of days before a game launches. That way, at 9 o'clock p.m. for all of us on the West Coast, but midnight for everybody on the East Coast, by the time that time hits, the game is ready to go. And I feel like that was an amazing idea, whoever thought about that. Because even back then, what I thought was going to happen was you pre-order a game, and then come midnight, the game finally unlocks, and then you have to go through the downloading process. So that was pretty ingenious for them to allow you to download the game multiple days in advance of the game launching. That way, people who don't have that great of an internet connection, you're not left behind. So kudos to Sony and Microsoft for whoever thought of that idea. In regards to the physical versus digital argument, I mean, if you look at articles anywhere on the internet right now, like, digital is the way that the industry has gone. Now, to put some perspective behind this, I have a multitude of examples as to you can tell the future of gaming is digital. Number one, because every form of media is digital these days. Makes sense. But number two is, look at GameStop. Look at GameStop's stock 5 years ago compared to GameStop's stock today. Also, real quick, take a time out from this video real quick. So, actually, I want to know for you guys, realistically, up here, I'm going to put the little poll. Vote on the poll and let me know, for you guys, is majority of your library physical or digital? or what? Let me know in the comment section as well, because obviously when you're just voting on a poll, that's it, you're voting. But I would like to hear you guys' feedback in the comment section on digital versus physical, what is majority of your library, and why you chose to go whatever direction you went. Because I do know some people who do like physical games, and there's no knock to people who like physical games, but some people like the cover art and, you know, things of that nature, because, you know, it's a part of their decor for their gaming room or living room or what have you. Same thing with people who have Blu-rays. I know people who buy Blu-rays because they like, well, number one, you get the better quality when it comes to HD Blu-rays or Ultra, I can't remember what it's called right now, Ultra HD or whatever. Anyways, people like, you get the better visuals, non-compressed, if you have the Ultra Blu-ray disc to view your videos. I mean, that is the best way to go, but that isn't a thing with gaming though. But however, vote in the poll, let me know in the comment section. But now let's get to some hardcore statistics on the direction the gaming industry is going in. Starting off with the UK. Video game sales are now 80% digital in the UK. Not only that, let's check out us here in the United States. Digital sales now represent 74% of the US game market. For analysts who are looking into the future, by 2021, they feel that digital sales will account for 93% of all video game sales. And like I said, it makes sense as to why. Number one, I know Sony back in the day did that cute little video of, oh, you want to share a game? This is how you share a game on the PlayStation. That was cute. But Sony was also the same ones who was asking you for an extra $10 if you bought one of their games used. Do you guys remember that? They don't do it anymore, but I don't know if you guys remember that back in the day. You'd have to pay an extra $10 if the game was used. Yeah, them and EA was doing that silly stuff. So fast forward to today, all of these developers, publishers, Sony, Microsoft, they want you to buy all their games digital. They do. They won't say that, but they do. The number one reason is they make more money. They don't have to make the box art, the cover art. They don't have to buy the disc, print all the cute stuff on the disc. Like, all that money is being saved. Now they're pocketing all that money. They make more money and lose less money from a digital disc than they do physical. Now, if they put out a physical disc, well, you guys can let your friends borrow it. You can take it back to GameStop and they'll buy it back from you. So they're losing money because once that game enters the secondhand market, oh, it's all over. They're no longer making money off that game anymore. They only made money off that one sale, which is why they want you guys to go digital. It's less people, especially Sony exclusives. Like PlayStation exclusives, they pocket like 100% of that money. They are the developer, they are the publisher, like all that money is all them. They own the rights to Blu-ray, so, I mean, well, excuse me, that doesn't even matter because it's a digital game. Third parties, though, it's a little different. Third parties, they get a bulk of the money because they don't have to print the disc and all that stuff. But they still have to give Sony and Microsoft and Steam and all these other stores a cut of their money, even when it is digital. But still, they're skipping the middleman like GameStop and places like that because of the fact that it's digital. You don't have all that extra cost that comes with it. So the gaming industry wants all the games to go digital because, again, those secondhand market and everything that I just listed before. But let me know what you guys think. Let me know how you guys feel. Again, is your library majority digital, physical? Let's have that conversation. Don't forget to vote in the poll above, and I'll also link back to my video in 2013. I'll put it in there, and I'll put it in the description below. But let me know what you guys' opinions are. I like that the gaming industry is going more digital personally, or I don't know if you can go more digital, but you know, the only thing that I would like to see though, before I head out, the only thing I would like to see is I would like to see more sales, more Steam-like sales when it comes to the PlayStation Store and the Xbox Store. Because back in the day, GameStop had more of a hold, Best Buy had more of a hold, Walmart had more of a hold on the gaming industry. But now that everything's going digital, they can start having, and they have decent sales now, but nobody's messing with Steam still to this day. But again, comment, subscribe, share the video. If you guys got friends that think might be interested in the video, share it with them. Share it on your Twitter, your Instagrams, all that social media you kids do these days. And also, if you're not, make sure you guys check out the podcast, subscribe to the podcast. It's coming back very soon. Depending on when you watch this video, it may already be out. Again, as always, people, stay blessed, stay great. And until the next video, I'm out.
This is the DLB Network Gaming Podcast.